Hi guys, it's Angela, and today I'm going to be doing the second part to the vintage plastic jewelry showcase. We have a lot to go over, so I'm going to go ahead and get going, but I had some questions in the first part of how to tell if a piece is lucite. And so I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit. I do encourage you guys to do your own research. There's a lot of great information out there about lucite jewelry, but it started around the 40s, and all plastics, they're all plastic jewelry, whether you're talking bakelite, lucite, celluloid, modern day plastics. They're all plastics, but they're made differently. Like bakelite jewelry was made with formaldehyde and sometimes even asbestos. So they stopped using those ingredients, and lucite is made slightly different. And the modern day plastics are definitely made a little bit different, but they're all considered plastic jewelry. They have just different components that make them up. So when I am looking at a piece of jewelry and how I decide whether to list it as a lucite piece, I try to look at the age of the piece. Lucite was really big in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I have read that it kind of slowed down the making of them and then kind of resurfaced in the 80s. So I'm really just giving my best guesstimate when I am listing a piece. I try to look at when I think the piece was made to decipher what the material is. And unless Alexis Bittar, she's using quality lucite jewelry. It's stated that in her listings, like in her websites. And so yes, that is how I know. I've been doing this a while, so I kind of know, like, by the era of the piece what the material more than likely could be. But all of it is my best guesstimate. So I hope that helps you. Do your research, look to find about how old your piece was. You'll know what was being used at that time, and you could kind of go from there. So that's how I do it anyways. And like I've said before, I feel in the need to say this often. I'm not an expert. I've just been doing this a long time, and I'm using what I have learned along the way. So let's get started. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Let's start with this piece here. See, this piece I consider to be celluloid. This is a very old belt buckle. The color of the piece is very aged. That looks to be about how celluloid looks nowadays by the age. Somebody did the hot pin test on this. I do not recommend that. I would never stick a hot pin in a piece of jewelry because it's a permanent damage. I never do that. So, and I know that you can do the hot water test to kind of see if you smell those old chemicals that are made in, like the formaldehyde and stuff like that was used back then. But that definitely takes experience. To me, old jewelry kind of all has a funny smell, so that's a little bit harder for me. But the color, the age of this looks celluloid to me. So this is a really cool carved belt buckle. Okay, let's go here. Now this looks like Alexis Bittar to me, but it is not signed. It has the same gold insert, the frosted lucite, the studs here, but I would not list this as Alexis Bittar. I might put Alexis Bittar style. I'm just a little bit more conservative in my listings. Some people might be comfortable with that. I am not, but it's definitely, at the very least, made in the style of Alexis Bittar. Really nice bangle bracelet. And you can tell this one's made well. This also looks designer to me. It is chunky. It is heavy. It is made well. We've almost have like the marbled in here to almost make it look like a stone inlay. This is a very high quality piece. I don't know the designer. I just know that it is a nice one. I have this cute fashion stretch ring. You'll see necklaces like this, bracelets, rings with the flower, the faceted acrylic petals. It's just a fun one. Then there's these. These have a marbled, almost faux tortoiseshell look. I would consider these a faux tortoiseshell. These are more modern. Nice chunky earrings though. And the faux tortoiseshell jewelry is very popular even now. Now let's go here. This is a signed Alexis Bittar piece, and I will show you. It has the frosted textured lucite that has almost like a glow to it. This also has the gold backing. This one is signed. I don't know if you can see that, but it is signed Alexis Bittar. So now you could kind of see what I meant by the first bracelet. It has the same backing, frosted lucite. So it more than likely is, it may have come with two and then this one just wasn't marked, but this necklace is beautiful. She makes her pieces to almost look like gemstone. They glow with the light. Really well made, popular designer still today. Oh wait, before I go here, I forgot I had another Alexis Bittar piece. These are beautiful vintage, more vintage Alexis Bittar. Probably not totally vintage, but they're wood and lucite. You could tell they're faded a little bit on the gold there. These are chunky. It has the dangles. These earrings I do have listed in my eBay store. I may discount them. If I pull out a piece from my eBay store, I will discount them for the showcase. These are long. They're about at the very least 4 inches. Okay, moving over here now. This is Talbot's gold tone, chunky flower accents to make a really pretty statement piece. It has the marbled and these almost have a glow to them, mixed with the rhinestones. back, the gold tone is still in really good condition. The faux tortoiseshell links. These acrylic lucite link necklaces do sell well, for me at least. Silver tone. Silver is in good condition on this one. No designer marks. And then this is J. Crew. This is an older J. Crew, and there is some fading on the chain. Kind of can see like a copper coming through. But these are also faux tortoiseshell links mixed with a really pretty rhinestone. Considering that most of the chain is going to be behind the neck, this is still a really cute piece. You're going to mostly see the tortoiseshell links up in the front. Whenever I get a linked J. Crew piece like this, they sell pretty quickly. All right, let's move this display out of the way. All right, on to the next display. Let's see here. Here we have a more modern multi-strand necklace. These acrylic pieces were made to look like gemstones. Really nice neutral colors on this. Probably early 2000s for this piece. Now this one, this is really fun. This is really unique. This one also is more modern. It has a leather strand, hand knotted ceramic beads, and then these really fun acrylic flowers. The petals have like a marbled look. This is a really fun, well-made piece. There is some wear on the back. A little bit of scratching and wear, but this is a fun piece. Now this one, this is chunky marbled lucite. This one looks like it was probably made in the 60s, 70s to me. Nice, heavy, chunky piece. And it's long. I actually had to double it to get on the display. Here we have a vintage. These feel like wood. And then these little carved pieces here. Very unique. And then this one's really old. Has the brass boxed clasp up here, and then it has the carved root beer pieces. This one is long. I had it doubled. Oh, it has one that's all kind of like if they messed up on it. It's lasted all these years with it like that, so I'm going to leave it like that. Because this is an old one. I can tell by the clasp. Maybe even 40s, 50s. And then these fun earrings, these are Moon Glow. They have an amber and a pink colored moon glow. Let's see if I can show that. Here we go. Simple but pretty. Then here is a designer piece that still uses high quality acrylics. This is a Michael Kors watch. It has that marbled lucite, almost a light faux tortoiseshell look. I have seen quite a few of the Michael Kors watches where they use the faux tortoiseshell acrylic for their watches, and it looks really nice. Very nice. There's the MK on the side. Has the 3 and the date. There is not a battery. This one needs a battery. But there it is, Michael Kors. I told you that I would show some designers that are still using high quality acrylics in their jewelry. And here we have Betsey Johnson. And this one is listed in my eBay store. I will discount it for the showcase today. But we have this big bubbled heart, the zebra print with the rhinestones, the gold tone backing with the hearts that Betsey Johnson uses. And then on the inside, you can see it is marked Betsey Johnson. And this ring is a size 7. This is a fun statement piece. It's big on the finger. Statement piece for sure. And here we have the 70s big, the dried flower jewelry that you've seen a lot of jewelry like this was made in that time. Really pretty yellow amber colored. This is also a chunky piece. Not overly chunky though. This feels like a similar size. Yep. 7. straight from the 70s. And this piece, this is also a very well-made vintage designer. It is not branded or marked. I just know by holding it how well it's made. It is heavy. It has the magnetic closure. This is an older piece. There is some, like the first layer of the magnet is kind of peeling off. There is some fading. I do believe this was gold tone. It's kind of fading to a silver tone. This is glass, like a marbled glass. This reminds me of pieces, I'm not saying it's Chanel, but from that era. Maybe 70s, 80s for this one though. All right, let's get the next display ready. All right, let's go over here to the shades of green in natural tones with the greens and browns here. Start with a more modern piece. This is a really nice, almost mint green bib here. Gold tone is nice on this necklace. Has a marbled look on there. This necklace I love. This style was big in the 50s, 60s here with this almost chandelier tassel. There's the clasp. Really pretty, like yellows and greens in these beads. Made to mimic fine glass is my thoughts on this one. You've got the shaped beads here. Really pretty designs on these beads. You can see the green and yellow swirl. And then here is the tassel. This looks like a designer piece to me. It is not marked. Oh, I lie. Oh, it is. It is marked. This is Guess. This is a vintage Guess necklace. There is wear on the hang tag. Some of this jewelry I have not looked at in a long time. Like I said, I kind of put things aside and forget about them. There's the G. The G does have fading on it. This is an older Guess piece, probably from the 80s or 90s. Chunky lucite acrylic acorns. And then the leaves are almost made to look like stained glass, but they are also acrylic. Fun, fun, fun piece. Guess piece. This also is a very nice, more modern piece. Silver tone clasp. Chunky. This is very heavy. This is a beaded statement. And as you can see, the beads are big and chunky. They kind of graduate in size here from big to smaller up towards the top. This is definitely not a piece you need to layer. It is big and bold on its own. Well-made piece. It's not a cheapie. All right, then we have a couple of these vintage necklaces that the beads, the acrylic beads, are made to look like gemstones. You know, like the beggar bead gemstone vintage necklaces. That's what these mimic, but they are lucite. Got the marbled. Really good job at making it look like amethyst and citrine and jade and all the things. Has the barrel clasp. Here's another one. This one's more modern than the last. This one's more 80s, 90s. The other one was more 60s, 70s. All right. This I had doubled. This is a really, really long. You could tie this one into a knot, like a flapper. This is definitely a flapper length necklace. So what they do a couple ways. You can knot it and have this. That looks nice. Have it wear it long. Or you could double the layers for even a chunkier layered look. That's how I had it the first time. These are brown. Would say from the 60s or 70s. It's faceted to make it look like a glass. It even has like a little shine. I always think it's so cool to see a piece of jewelry that is so old and is still standing the test of time and can be worn today. All right, let me get the next display. Oh, actually, hold on. I wanted to show some bracelets that kind of went with that. Okay. We have this acrylic bracelet. This is vintage. It's kind of made to look like a apple juice or root beer bakelite. There are some missing rhinestones. One right there. There. So it's like 4 missing rhinestones. This is a chunky piece. It has the cheetah print, a glittered inside, asymmetrical in shape. I have a few of these chunky vintage asymmetrical bracelets in my eBay store. It looks like there's a little bit of fading right there of the cheetah print. And these do still resell for quite a decent amount, depending on the color and the style. This one is super chunky. Statement bracelet. Here is a more modern faux tortoise shell link with acrylic gold links. This is a carved made to look like tortoise shell or something similar to that. And this one is fun. It has the cheetah print, also a hot pink inside. This reminds me of a designer piece as well. You can see that it's clear when you look through right here. And then the hot pink, but when you look through this way, it's a glittered cheetah print. It's a fun one. Then over here we had some greens that match some of those necklaces. A acrylic stretch with an olive green and gold tone bead. Another asymmetrical shaped chunky olive green bangle bracelet. And then this fun, it's rhinestones, the skulls, peace signs, the roses. Missing rhinestone right there. And right there. So it looks like two missing rhinestones. All right, I'm going to pull out the next display. Right, we're moving along. I hope you guys are enjoying this vintage acrylic jewelry showcase with me. I do appreciate you guys for being here. Let's start here. This is a big display. It's a little bit harder to see. Now this piece I've had for a while. It is a really nice, I could just tell this was a designer piece. It is not marked, but this is heavy brass links. And then it goes into this chunky white lucite. Why here? This almost pendant. The shape is sleek. This is modern, but this is really, it reminds me of Moni's, but I have not found this necklace yet, and I've had it for a while. It's just really well made. You could hear it's like heavy links. Really nice lucite pieces. This I've had in my collection for a while. I'm probably not parting with that one. If it is for sale, there will be a price on the video. If it is not for sale, that means I am not ready to part with it and it's going back into my collection. Here, what do we got going on here? This is a more modern piece. Acrylic pieces made to look like amber, different colored amber. It is not amber, it's acrylic. It feels nice and there's no seams, so this probably is a high quality lucite. Look at how pretty. It is made really well. So when you're wearing it, it really does look like a amber necklace. All right, I kind of have a lot stacked on here, so we'll see which ones come up first. Okay, this one. Oops, hold on one second. Okay, I am back. I had to wipe this necklace down because it was pretty dirty. This is an old one. This is from the 40s or 50s. And it is more of a choker collar length. A light lemon yellow. Good weight on these beads. which one's gonna come up next. Maybe this chunky one. Oh yeah, my favorite, my absolute favorite. I could already tell you now, this one is not going to be for sale. This is going back into my collection. I just wanted to show you. This is chunky. This is definitely a designer. I just haven't figured out which one. Very substantial, heavy piece. Big beads, heavy beads. It goes down, clips here, and then it goes down into this really fun tassel. This is a designer, and I will figure this out eventually. Which one? Really nice tone on this gold, where you can see it's darkened, but it has not faded. Chunky, chunky, chunky. So, and this one's super long. That piece I love. I feel like it is of some importance. It is just really well made. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. All right. We have this fun yellow colors, different textures and sizes of the beads. Vintage necklace. And this little plastic tab here says made in Hong Kong. So I've left that on there. It's a long one. It can be doubled. Pretty bright yellow color. Okay, this vintage necklace looks like egg yolk to me. It has the hidden barrel clasp. And it is graduating in size, starting from the smallest up towards the back. Look at how cool this one is. Getting bigger and bigger and bigger till down here. Okay, a couple more on this display. Let's see. This orange one is very long. I had it doubled, but it could even be tripled. Fold over clasp. Nice size, a mid-size orange beads. Heavy in weight. This is not super cheap, even though it's acrylic. Let's look, hold on, let's see. Just this necklace alone. Could be tripled. Really pretty. This, I would say, is, I give a rough. Normally you'll hear me say, because you never know. But this, to me, looks 60s, 70s. And the last one on this display is a really pretty marbled lucite. Also graduating in size. Really pretty bright yellow. Almost resembles egg yolk amber or a Bakelite. Very nice, vintage, well made. Then these fun earrings also has that marbled yellow lucite, has the design of the atomic age jewelry, like the futuristic jewelry. Lime green and yellow. These are pierced. We have a couple faux tortoise shell bangles. Nice size on there, not too thin, not too thick. Great for layering. Another faux tortoise shell cuff. This one feels a little smaller, maybe like a 6.5 inch. I will measure it and put it on there, but it is smaller. This one is UNICEF on the inside. It's kind of like a really neat orange cheetah. It is also asymmetrical. A fun stretch, yellow and silver. Goes into like this point. Vintage studded celluloid. The studs are fading to the copper. But honestly, eventually it'll just all be a copper colored stud, and that would be fine, in my opinion. A nice cream chunky bangle. This is nice and heavy. It is well made. Some fun faux stone stretches. This one is really cool. I feel like this one was a designer as well. It is chunky. It has this really neat design. Asymmetrical in shape. This fun, lightweight, clear, even though it is dyed in color, you can see through it. I have a couple rose coral colored stretch. These are fun. And then this last chunky bangle bracelet has a flower design. And the inside has this almost wood-like grain, but it is a lucite. This is a heavy, chunky lucite bracelet. All right, I'm going to clear those out and get our very last display ready. All right, now for our last display of this video, and we've got black and whites. There's just something so classic and classy about black and white. And let's start up here with this vintage black and white bead. And these are neat. This is a little bit longer than collar length. 70s, 80s for that one. And here's one that's more modern. It is a brand new cookie lee piece. Carved rose, chunky black beads, silver tone. It was originally $28. That's actually adjustable. It's short right now, but it's adjustable. All right, now here's another example of designers using plastics. This is Kate Spade. This is a chunky, heavy, multi-layer, beautiful Kate Spade necklace. I have one of these listed in my eBay store right now. It is a hot pink one of this exact necklace. Great shape. Really great quality. It feels nice. It looks nice. Gold tone is still good. All right. This is a chunky black bead necklace. It has the fold over clasp, big chunky beads. This is a substantial piece. Big and a long one. All right, we have this vintage white bubble bead. When they have this, almost put them in this rope design to look like bubbles. Here's another one that is really long. I had it doubled. This is similar to the brown one from earlier where you could knot it. You could put it in a knot, or you can wear it long, or you can double it for extra layers. Made to look like faceted glass. Couple more. This one is similar to the bubble bead one. They're kind of like offset, not quite clustered as much as the other. It's still a really neat design. And then last necklace. This is a really cool 80s, 90s tubular striped beads. This one's long. All right. 3 black and white stretch bracelets that look nice with any of the necklaces that I just showed. We have the faceted acrylic here. And another asymmetrical one. And then last piece of is a black rhinestone studded ring. Looks like 2 missing rhinestones right there. And this is a size 7. All right, that is it. That is it for the acrylic plastic vintage jewelry showcase. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Maybe you learned a little something. Maybe you just watched me go through the jewelry. I like I've said before, I love that as well. Hope you guys are all well. Next, we are going to get into a 19-pound box of jewelry from Shop Goodwill that I've had waiting for a while. Have a lot of things planned coming up, so stay tuned. And until next time, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing. I appreciate you all. Goodbye.